Life hacks for college that no one ever tells you. Most colleges recommend these to hang things on the wall in your dorm. Don't use them. They use super cheap paint, and these will rip the paint right off the wall at the end of the year, and then most universities will charge you a fee to patch it. Instead, use thumbtacks to hang things up. They'll just make a tiny little hole. At the end of the year, when you take stuff down, take bar soap and rub it on the wall to cover up the hole. I got charged like $300 my freshman year, and once I started using thumbtacks, I never got charged again. These are embarrassing mistakes that every college freshman makes. First up, we have scheduling 8 a.m. classes. I know your thought process because I did this too. I was like, I got up at 6:50 every day for high school. I can get up at 8 a.m. 3 times a week for college. No, you can't. I don't know what kind of space-time continuum you jump into when you go to college, but 8 a.m. feels like 4:30 a.m. and every time that alarm clock goes off, you will dread it and you will know that you chose this. Step is raising your hand and asking to use the bathroom. You don't have to ask permission. You don't have to raise your hand. You can just get up and go to the bathroom and leave the classroom, and that's okay. And I know it feels really weird because you were not allowed to do that in high school, but it's true, and it's actually like discouraged to ask permission because it's kind of like disrupting class and everybody's paying money to be there, so just do it. Finally, with buying books from the school's bookstore. This is just the absolute most expensive way to buy textbooks. So many used books, there's so many free PDFs, and sometimes you'll go into class the first day and the professor will go, oh yeah, you don't actually need that textbook. They just make me put something on the syllabus. So just like wait. Unless you're in STEM and that was your choice, and I'm really sorry. Life hacks for college that no one ever tells you. Part 6. If you schedule a class, look up the professor on ratemyprofessor.com. It's kind of like Yelp, but for college professors. You usually get a choice of a couple professors, and honestly, the professor makes or breaks most classes. Lots of times, the past students will give you really helpful tips specific to that class. Students usually find out about this site in like their second year, but if you know about it coming in as a freshman, you're gonna have a really good first semester. Life hacks for college that no one ever tells you. Part 7. Most schools have you schedule classes based on seniority. If it's your first year, all the best professors, times, or classes are probably already gonna be taken. But a couple days before the semester starts, there's a time called the add drop period when class scheduling will reopen for everyone and a couple new spots will usually open up. It's like buying concert tickets, and honestly, it's a little bit stressful. Once I knew about this, I never had a class before 11 a.m. again, and it was awesome. These are embarrassing mistakes that every college freshman makes. Number 1 is not bringing an umbrella to school. It's so crucial, and it's like never on the packing list, but here's what will happen. About 3 weeks into school, it'll rain really badly, and you'll realize, I don't have a car. I have to walk through this rain with no umbrella or no jacket. You will get to class. You will be soaking wet. You'll look like you went to Disney World Splash Mountain fully clothed. You will shiver and shake in the air-conditioned room. All your peers staring at you, and it's miserable and horrible, and I'll never do it again. Except for scheduling 4 or more classes back to back to back. I know what you're thinking because I did it too. I was like, I did 7 classes back to back in high school. I can do 4 in college. No, you can't. You'll be a raggedy and doll by the end of those 4 classes. I can explain why. You just will. You'll want time for lunch. You'll want time to chat with people on the quad. You want to take a power nap. You'll never be refreshed like a power nap. Just leave a little space. And finally, we have dressing up for class. I know you're thinking, I gotta get the ring by spring. I'm gonna get up early and get dressed up for my 8 a.m. I promise you, 2 weeks in, we'll be lucky if you brush your teeth. Airplane rules apply. We do not talk about what we look like in class. It is a solemn agreement between everyone in the class. You can impress those people on the weekend. Life hacks for college that no one ever tells you. Part 9. It can be a little bit intimidating to find your classes the first week, especially when you're a freshman and you're not too familiar with campus. Most colleges will give you a paper map, which isn't very interactive, and Google Maps and Apple Maps don't have a very good walking GPS. Snap Maps has a really detailed map, especially for bigger campuses. I always leave a couple minutes early my first week too, because sometimes the classroom numbers are really off and they don't always have academic buildings unlocked before the school year starts. If you're ever totally lost, you should definitely ask for help. Most people are pretty understanding. They were college freshmen once too. They get it. Life hacks for college that no one ever tells you. Part 15. When you're a student, before you buy any school supplies, anything for your dorm, really buy anything. Check to see if they give a student discount. Places like Nike give you 20% off. Levi's gives you 25% off. Get a special Spotify and Hulu bundle for $4.99 a month just for being a student. Chipotle will even give you a free drink just for flashing your student ID. You can find a ton of the discounts on this site, Unidays. It's worth just asking anytime you buy something if they have a student discount. I got a 1.5 interest rate on my car. That's really good. Just because I bought it within 6 months of my graduating. And the salespeople were not happy to give it to me. So always do this. These are embarrassing mistakes that every college freshman makes. First up, we have being roommates with your best friend. I know you're thinking, we've been besties since junior high. We're gonna be perfect college roommates. You're not. Taylor Swift said it's gonna be forever or it's gonna go down in flames, and I believe she's talking about college roommates. I've seen fights. I've seen screaming matches. I've seen people sleeping in the lobby. Lots of tears. It's worse than divorce court, I swear. It's a lot easier to set boundaries with someone that you've never met before than someone you've been friends with for a long time, but you might not know all their quirks yet. Next up is not finding the location of all of your classes before the first day. I swear these buildings are designed worse than the grand staircase in Harry Potter. Room 304 is on the 6th floor, but room 302 is on the 2nd floor. Q is the basement and 4 is the roof. It makes absolutely no sense. Save yourself the stress and just do a walkthrough a day early. Next is missing out on the career fair. I know you're thinking, I'm a freshman. Why would I go to the career fair? It's not about the careers. It's about the free stuff. Cafeteria food is gross. Go have a free pizza on Total Quality Logistics. Enter the scooter raffle. Who cares? The people there are not upset that you're a freshman. They're just glad that you showed up. Life hacks for college that no one ever tells you. Never buy textbooks from your school's bookstore. They always mark up the prices an insane amount. Go to your school's library. They'll have copies of textbooks that you can use the whole semester for free. Go as soon as you can because they always go fast. And if you don't mind using a digital copy, this website has free PDFs of all the most popular textbooks. But the textbook companies got smart. A lot of professors will require you to have an access code to do the online homework. Don't buy the bundle with the book. Those are hundreds of dollars. If you go to the textbook website or you go to something like Chegg Books, you can just buy the access code by itself for way less than the bundle. Life hacks for college that no one ever tells you. A lot of schools offer free on-site therapy for their students, but they don't heavily advertise it because the spots fill up pretty quickly. Even if you don't need it right away, it's a good idea to go into the office and register your first week. That way, if you do need it, it'll be a lot easier to make appointments because you're already in the system. If you're not, they may have to refer you to an off-site therapist so that you don't have to wait weeks for an appointment. These are embarrassing mistakes that every college freshman makes. Number one is not looking up their professors on Rate My Professor. This is like Yelp for your college professors, and I didn't know about it my first semester. I had some really tough professors, and at the end of the class, I looked them up on here, and I was like, oh, so this all could have been avoided, huh? Next, we have getting into a relationship your first week of college. I know you're thinking, I met this hottie at orientation, and he's pre-med, and he's the one, and you're not gonna make any other friends. You're gonna spend your whole first 2 months of college cooped up with him in Potter Hall 105, and you're gonna go home one weekend for your sister's sweet 16 birthday party, and you're gonna find out that while you were gone, he was wooing Josie the Theta with his acoustic performance of Wonderwall, and you're gonna be crushed, but you're not gonna have any friends because you didn't make any other friends in college. So don't get into a relationship right away. Finally, we have over purchasing a meal plan. I'll always try to upsell you on a meal plan that's like 3 meal swipes a day. Unless you have the discipline of Olympian, you are never gonna be there that much. I always had the lowest plan, and I had tons of meal swipes left over at the end of the year. And never ever do this because it's not allowed to bring a little hydro flask and fill it with mac and cheese for a midnight snack because that is against the rules. Life hacks for college that no one ever tells you. Most colleges require you to have a meal plan if you live on campus, but the school cafeterias usually have limited hours, and getting food off campus when the cafeteria is closed can really be expensive. If you're not going to use one of your meal swipes for the day, swing by the cafeteria anyway. A lot of them have grab and go sections. You can grab one of the meals and keep them in your dorm fridge. Most of them are salads and sandwiches that'll keep for a couple days in your fridge, depending on the university, but a lot of times if you don't have a car on campus, it can be really hard to find food at night. These are embarrassing mistakes that every college freshman makes. So we have using command strips to hang things up on the wall. Every college is like, use these command strips to hang up decorations in your dorm. They're the best, but they're using cheap paint. At the end of the year, you're gonna rip the paint off the wall like a Brazilian wax. And then they're like, oh, sorry, we have to repaint. We have to charge you $400 extra. No, just use a push pin. It makes a tiny little hole, and then at the end of the year, cover it up with a bar of soap. It works so much better. Next up, we have buying too much school swag the first week. And you're excited to start school. You want to get all your merch with the school's logo on it, but you do not need to go on an Elwood shopping spree because I promise you, over your 4 years, you're gonna get so much free swag from the school, whether it's homecoming t-shirts. Every club you're gonna be in is gonna have their own logo. Basketball t-shirts. You will get so much free stuff, so just save your money. Just get one sweatshirt. Finally, we have putting things in the microwave that do not go in the microwave and setting off the fire alarm. No styrofoam in the microwave. It's gonna be very embarrassing when you set off the fire alarm at 2 a.m. and everyone has to evacuate the building and they're shivering in the cold while you desperately try to explain them that you were just trying to melt chocolate in the microwave and you didn't realize that it would just burn instead. Now Rebecca's crying and she's blaming you that she's gonna fail her exam tomorrow because she's not gonna get any sleep. Life hacks for college that no one ever tells you. College is expensive. Filling out this one tax form can get you a $10,000 tax credit for your 4 years of school. It's called the American Opportunity Tax Credit. It gives you an up to $2,500 tax credit for each of your first 4 years of school to cover costs like books, supplies, and tuition. And if it brings your tax bill to zero, you'll still get a yearly refund of up to $1,000 from it. Just fill out this form, the 8863, and the 1040 form with the expenses you incur during the school year, and get that free money. These are embarrassing mistakes that every college freshman makes. First, we have wearing the lanyard that they give you at orientation. Please give a bright colored lanyard at freshman orientation and put your college ID on, and every freshman puts it on and wears it around. It's giving the same energy as like the leash backpacks at Disneyland. And it's like the textbook freshman thing to be like wearing that lanyard, walking around looking at the buildings like you're the caveman seeing a water fountain for the first time. It's okay, you can do it, but just everyone's gonna know you're a freshman. Next up, we have buying your textbooks before the semester even starts. Every college tries to get you to buy all of your textbooks new before the semester starts. Don't do it. It's gonna be hundreds of extra dollars. A lot of times the professors have to put a textbook on the syllabus even if you're not gonna use it. So just wait. The first day of class is gonna be like going over the semester and they'll tell you what books you're gonna actually need. Sometimes they'll be like, I've got a PDF for you guys, don't worry about it. Finally, we have falling off your lofted bed. Usually the option to loft your bed so you have more room in your dorm room, and they're like 12 feet in the air and people are like, I don't want a railing on it. That's so embarrassing. If you move it all in your sleep, put a railing on it, because you know what's more embarrassing? Limping through the hallway with a bruise the size of Nebraska on your leg, crying because you fell off your bed on the hard concrete.